In this lesson I'm going to show you how to do a bit of a makeover on the hair and makeup of this young lady. Now what we're going to do is aim to colour things, in particular with the hair, the highlights, and obviously with the makeup we're going to change the colour of the eyeshadow, maybe alter the eyeliner a little bit and change the lipstick. So we'll do this in stages. So first of all, let's deal with, at the moment we've got this sort of eyeshadow here that's a kind of pinky peachy colour, and we will tend to sort of maybe make it a little bit more orangey. Now I have to say I'm no expert in makeup and I'm going to apply colours that may not exactly complement each other, but it's more about the technique rather than the overall look, and probably the ladies who are watching this will have more experience about applying makeup than I do, and will probably be able to do this technique an awful lot better because they'll be able to match up colours an awful lot better. But anyway, here's the technique. Create a new layer. Double click on layer 1 and name it eyes, just so that you know what you're actually working with. Change the blending mode to colour, and then what you want to do is reset your colours and go to your paintbrush. Make sure airbrush is selected and set the opacity of the brush to 40%. You also want to make sure that your opacity of your eyes area is 40%. It's what's called the 40-40 mix. Control plus or Command plus into the eye area so you get good sort of spacing, and you want to be using a soft brush. In this case I'm going to use a soft 20 pixel brush, and then I want to select a colour. Now the best way to do this is to take your eyedropper and actually select one of the existing colours that's there, and then you can exaggerate upon it, or if you wish you can actually go in and call up the swatches and use colour swatches. Probably best something around about the colour range. So for example we could go in for an orangey colour for these eyes rather than the sort of pinky peachy colour that's there just now. I'm just going to move this palette out of the way like so, and then begin to paint. Now it's a gentle motion working your way across, and you can see already that we're able to change the eyeshadow like so and blend it in. Now, how far you actually go to the edge of the eye, I'm not actually particularly sure, and you don't want to go too far into the eyebrow itself, but by having the 40-40 mix you'll not actually overblend too much, and you can see the difference there already. Now it's probably not the most flattering colour in the world, but it's good for this technique. And then we move over to the other eye, and once again just working the line. Now if you happen to go over into likes of the eyebrow, don't be scared because you're working with a blank layer to go to the eraser tool and actually erase the colour back like so, so that you just get the area that you wanted to work in like so. And if you've gone too far over the edge here, increase your brush size and just gently soften off the edge a little bit, and you can see we've given her a more punky look there. And it's the same technique again for the lips, but again create your own layer, rename the layer for the particular area that you're actually going to work on, and then we can go in, sample one of the lip colours, and for example take it into a more reddy colour. Remember to change the blending mode to colour, and also change the opacity to 40%, and then you can play with that opacity at a later stage. Choose our brush and decrease the brush size this time, and then just very gently work your way around the lips, and you can see we're making it a lot more pinkier than it was before, and just filling in the areas. Now the good thing about doing this technique is that you can actually go in and build up ranges of colour. So for example, if you wish, we could go in and go into the more orangey elements, and then increase our brush size slightly, and then just put a hint of orange into the lip around the edge and build up the colour that way. And this will once again complement the eyeshadow. And again, if you go over the edge or you go over the score too much, maybe into the teeth or something like that, you can use the eraser tool to actually erase your mistakes in this case, because it's on our layer. And you can see we're giving her an even more punky look, like so. And then finally working into the hair, create another layer, We're going to call it hair. Change the blending mode yet again to colour, and this time we're going to make the blend 50% on the opacity, and we're going to go in and work on the highlight areas. Now this time also I'm going to change the blending mode of the brush to colour as well, and you can then see I can go in and actually pick out the highlights in the hair and actually colour them orange as well. And if you ever get the opportunity to actually photograph maybe a hairdresser's work, or a stylist as they're sometimes known, or even a makeup artist, you can go and have an awful lot of fun with actually altering their existing work. And this is where also a graphics tablet comes into its own. I happen to be using a mouse just now, but ordinarily I probably get this onto my Cintiq board, which means I can draw directly onto the screen and get better brush strokes. But you can do it with your mouse as well. You can see working in like so. Just randomly picking out areas to actually colourize up. And I'm just going to go in and go for a deeper orange in the corner as well, but more saturated, just to give a variation in the actual hair colour. And then what you can do once you've done that is then lower the opacity to 40% so that it blends in a bit better. And you can see we've now given her an awful lot more of a sort of punky look here by actually giving her a complementary orange all the way around. And again, it's just down to colour and imagination how much colour you actually play into the hair. But if you've got a young daughter, or even a young son for that matter, and you want to give them a very Halloweeny style haircut, then this is where you do it in Photoshop. There we go. And I think I'm going to stop at this point. Knowing when to stop is obviously a good thing as well. So there we have, taken this classy lady and given her a bit more of a sort of punky, grungy look, and the makeup and complemented everything on an orange. And there's before, and there's after. Subtle but effective, and that's how you do hair and makeup with Photoshop.